Good morning and welcome to P&B Morning Show, where politics meets business and the real issues take center stage. Today we are looking at two stories that define the state of the nation: more trouble for ADC and the trial for terrorists. We shall be looking at another recent political development and drama rocking the African Democratic Congress, ADC. Just yesterday, there is an emergence of a fresh faction in the ADC headed by Don Norman Obinna, further deepening the crack in the ADC. This is coming at a time where some Nigerians are yet to recover from the already existing tussle in the ADC. This political development has left many wondering, when will this political brouhaha in the ADC end? Is the ADC going to clean up its house before the 2027 elections? What will be the next move for the ADC? At the same time, away from the political stage, millions of Nigerians are dealing with a very terrible situation: terrorism. The continuous rampage in our nations by terrorists and bandits, I beg your pardon, continues, by the terrorists and bandits has remained a serious issue of concern, despite the relentless effort by our security forces to curb the situation. Again, the judiciary has taken a bold step by parading huge number of suspected terrorists in company of heavy security personnel. But the big question remains: is this move by the government to charge terrorists to court going to yield the desired result? Could it be that the government is being proactive rather than reactive? All right, by which some of these alleged culprits will be granted pardon as part of the plans by government to de-radicalize some terrorists. This morning, we connect the dots between leadership, accountability, and delivery, because in the end, government is not just about winning elections, it's about making life better. Stay with us. We shall be looking at what the newspaper has for us. I am Chidi Kenneth, and I have with me Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. CK. Good morning, viewers. You're all come back again.
How was your night, Mr. Ibrahim? How was your night, sir?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Fine, thank you.
I can see that you're looking very bright this morning.
Of course, of course.
All right, we shall be going on the short break, and when we come back, we dive straight into the newspaper review. Please stay tuned. All right, welcome back. Okay, we shall be looking straight what we have, in the newspapers, Mr. Ibrahim.
Yes.
I'm sure we have so many issues to talk about today.
Of course, and especially with the emergence of this new faction in the ADC.
Yes, the new faction, the fresh faction, exactly. The continuous political brouhaha, the continuous trouble for ADC. Yes. And one will begin to wonder what's going on. What is actually going on? Well, while we're yet to recover from the first one, now we are seeing another fresh just yesterday. And let's see how it goes. That will form one of the our major topic for discussion today. But let's see the first newspaper we have today. Oh, The Nation.
The Nation carries ADC crisis. David Marklet, NWC state chairman, clash. ADC crisis. David Marklet, National Working Committee and state chairman, clash.
ADC crisis. David Mark-led NWC state chairman clash. What do you make of that?
Of course, this has to do with what we are now hearing about the emergence of this new faction in the ADC that are trying to bring more complication into the crisis. Because even the initial crisis of somebody Gombe, has not been carefully resolved, and now another issue is coming up.
This time around, the state chairman now.
Yes, apart from the state chairman, this has to do with that new faction that's being created, headed by one Obinna. It's part of it also.
Don
Obinna is part of it also. And you will see a lot of the party as a whole will now be fully destabilized. And once they do that, we will not be having any opposition party standing firmly and being able to face the 2027 general election. Because the crisis will continue to deepen as we go closer to 2027. All those political parties, the ones that are relevant actually, like the PDP, like the ADC, will become almost as irrelevant as the other smaller parties that we don't even know of. Because these are not the only opposition party, There are other smaller opposition parties. There is the SDP. There is there are so many of them.
Do you see ADC surviving this whole problem?
Yeah, it's part of political. It's part of politics, you know.
Because some people will be wondering.
Parties have at one time or the other found themselves in a deeper crisis than this, and they were able to swim out of it. So they even face the election that is ahead. So it's not too late. We have quite a number. We have almost like 8-9 months, and I believe the shortest possible time they will be able to emerge out of the crisis.
But I want to
hopefully so.
I want to differ from you because I don't seem to see any possibility.
Let's remain hopeful.
Well, like you said, hopeful.
Yes, because us finding ourselves in one party democracy, I think is very, very, very an unwelcome development.
Is it really one party? The PDP is there. They've had their convention, and so you cannot really say it's one party system.
When there is one very big party, dominant party that can swallow the whole of the party without feeling anything, you can almost assume this. I keep giving you example of the Cameroonian situation. This has been happening exactly. So these are signs that we may very soon find ourselves in having one party democracy. It will not appear so externally from the outside. Do you understand?
Okay.
But the mechanism and the machinery in place will just reflect that.
Okay. Let's see what other juicy headlines we have there. The Nation. Is there another one?
Yes.
I think.
Forum of ex-Southeast governors rally support for Tinubu. Forum of ex-Southeast governors rally support for Tinubu. That's toward the 2027 general election.
Forum of ex-Southeast governors.
By that, I will assume irrespective of party affiliation.
Yes. So that is, you mean the Southeast former governors, they form the forum, and
exactly.
They're also pledging their allegiance to Tinubu,
the incumbent president. Yes.
Okay. But do you see that translating into votes?
Of course, because ex-governors still carry weight politically in their domains.
They have their structure.
They have their structures, and they have their loyalists who can go extra mile to ensure that their will has been realized. So, of course, it can translate to vote. And even beside that, traditionally we know the South is to be a kind of region that are almost always politically united. They are always
you may be right, because history has it that from 1999 to date, the Southeast has always been the zone that has given any candidate of their choice the block votes. 5 states for one candidate. They don't. There's no. You don't. At the presidential level, when they are supporting a particular candidate, they go all out. Since 1999, it has remained so.
For the Southeast, it's the same, but it can be explained in a different way, because the Southeast is always looking at one direction, straight like that. Do you understand?
That's what I'm saying.
I know about that, but even the Southeast is political. The only region that they always spread they go everywhere is the North. Because if there are 3 dominant political parties in Nigeria, you will see that the northern region will be
some states will win, some political parties will win, some states.
Everywhere. They will be all over the political parties. That's how we play our politics here in the North. We don't normally put all our eggs in one basket like the other regions.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what we have on the other newspaper, please. We have
the Daily Independent.
Daily Independent.
Yes, with the caption, Nigeria stabilizing, but human capital investment still critical. Nigeria stabilizing, but human capital investment still critical. You see.
So where's the stabilization there now?
All these reports, most of them are written by the Brentwood institutions, so that they will make citizens to believe that, well, your economy is doing good. Well, we know that some of the requirement of those Brentwood institutions that are giving countries with a view to accessing loans are ridiculous. Are very, very ridiculous. They are always naturally. So
they are responsible. They are responsible for captions like this.
Yes, it's a report. And then when you will see beautiful report written about a country, particularly these third world countries, but underneath it, you will see the citizen dying and suffering of hunger, poverty, illiteracy, diseases. But they will keep dashing you out report that you are doing well. They will be patting you on the shoulder.
Yes, you are stabilizing.
Stabilizing for what? You are buying fuel at 1,000, almost 400 today. Which stabilization? Many families cannot be able. I always keep emphasizing on the fact that, anyway, they are also saying it, that human capital development is still weak. Let's go back to the paper. See, we are stabilizing, but it's not translated. You see?
Okay.
But human capital investment is still critical.
Still critical.
You understand? People cannot go to school. Our children cannot.
So
go
how do you marry
You can't even
stabilization with human capital being critical?
Whatever stabilization, economic stabilization on paper they are talking about, if it cannot translate to human capital development, for me and for many, is as good as useless.
That is outright poverty.
Of course, of course. The human capital is always important. The essence of governance is, beside ensuring security, is ensuring the well-being of the citizen. When you are talking about the well-being of the citizen, this includes stuff like access to food, access to healthcare facilities, access to education. These are human capital development. Employment. Nigeria is a youth-dominated population, and almost, I can't give percentage because I don't have a record in my hand, but a greater majority of the percentage of Nigerians are still unemployed.
But some might argue with you that at least to a large extent, that when you go to the markets to buy food, you can still afford certain things to eat.
They are talking about you.
Well, I'm just saying somewhere. I'm not talking about myself.
Let's talk about the generality.
Mr. Ibrahim, I'm not talking about myself. I went to the market yesterday, but I'm only trying to tell you that some may also argue that to an extent the country is stabilizing in a way because people can still afford to buy food, at least at a very reasonable price. Some may argue that with you. Some may say, okay, yes, even though this report seems to be not the true reflection of the economy in Nigeria. But
I wish I read the detail of the story. I want to know where the report come from, and you will not be surprised to find that this such report are almost always coming from international donor partners and international organizations.
Just like the IMF and the rest of them.
These are the Brentwood institutions.
Okay.
The IMF, the World Bank, these are all factions. These are all subsets of the Brentwood institutions.
So in real life situation, now, what can you say about the buying power of an average Nigerian?
Very poor.
Very poor.
Of course.
How did you arrive at that? How do you say they're very poor? Nigerians we have not had any serious...
When the average minimum wage of a citizen cannot adequately cater for his family need, pay school fees, pay rent, buy food for your family, pay school fees.
So these are the critical human capital.
These are angles that you have to look at. Exactly.
All right. Let's see what the other newspaper has for us too. And I think
just look at it. World Bank says, I didn't see it until now. World Bank says job key to unlocking inclusive growth. Project Nigeria GDP around 4.2% between 2026 to 2028. Wants oil windfall used to rebuild fiscal buffers to provide targeted support to vulnerable households. These are just what I've said.
Yeah, well, this statement from World Bank, what do you take up? What's your make?
I've already explained myself. To me, I don't see anything useful here. It is not even worthy of.
You see it as rhetoric or something.
Exactly.
Just a statement to.
We want to see improvement in human capital development.
But don't you think these statements were built and stated based on facts? They have a way of arriving at their own, conclusion, because institutions like the World Bank is very notable and noble for coming out to make statements.
This is your view, and there are so many people that do not respect and agree with the opinion and views expressed in reports coming from such institutions. I'm one of them.
Okay, you're one of them, because are you saying that the World Bank does not have first-hand information of the true situation in Nigeria?
Don't put words into my mouth.
I'm just asking me about my opinion. I'm not asking you.
Expressed my opinion.
I'm not saying World Bank. No,
whatever you want me to say, I've already said it.
No, the issue, the question. No, let's look at. There's something I'm trying to bring out here. That is, the statement is coming from a well-reputable organization such as World Bank. I'm only saying that organizations like that do their findings before they make statements.
Of course.
So I don't want to somehow align myself with the fact that...
I think I would rather be comfortable with the Nigerian institutions making researches and coming up with economic report concerning our countries. There are a lot of reliable institutions, African reliable institutions that we must be...
Institutions that are on ground.
Of course. There
that understands the heat.
Of course, there are so many of them.
They have first-hand information.
Of course, there are. Are you saying that in the whole of... Even in Nigeria, we have the national... what do you call it? I forgot them. Even in Nigeria, we have about 2.
Okay.
Even in Nigeria, we have about 2. We have a lot of them in Africa. Why do we always keep believing and trusting in whatever research that is done about our economy by foreign countries?
By foreign Okay.
These are institutions that will give you loan at very exorbitant and very killing
Interest rates.
rate. And then they will make conditions that is that will not make your citizens very, very uncomfortable.
Okay, Mr. Shaibu
And they keep giving you report that they are doing good. Keep borrowing.
So these are
keep fulfilling this requirement and condition. Keep accepting loan from us, and you are doing good. They will patting the government in the shoulder.
So
while the citizens suffer and wallow in abject poverty and hunger and diseases.
Okay, you're just trying to remind me of the book Bread and Bullets by Hubert Ogunde, where someone gives you bread. At the end of it, inside the bread, we have bullets. And razor blades.
You are getting to understand me.
Well, I'm not trying to paint your pictures.
And that's why I like discussion with you. Even though you try to divert.
No, I'm not trying to divert. I'm only trying to query the fact that
sometimes the
statements from reputable organizations could be trusted. That's what I'm trying to say. But you have the opinion that there are more reputable organizations in Nigeria that can do same, probably because they have first-hand information.
Yes.
They have ownership of environment. They are on ground. Exactly. They understand the situation. They see it. They enter the market. They feel the pulse of the people.
Exactly.
That's what you're trying to say.
That is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brian.
Is it the Nigerian research? Oh God.
It's okay. If you want to know more, you can go and grab a copy of the newspaper and
Then we have, still on the Daily Independent, we have ADC crisis deepens as state chairman reject Mark nephew faction. ADC crisis deepens as state chairman reject Mark nephew faction. This is still about the crisis in the ADC. So since this new faction is rejecting both the nephew and the David Mark faction, they are trying now to also make their impact felt, which is an indication that the crisis is deepening further and further and further.
When we get to that bridge, we will cross it because, like I said earlier on, that will form one of the major
discussion of the day.
All right, let's have the other newspaper and see what we have there.
The Nigerian Tribune.
Trial of 500 terrorists.
Terrorism as suspect begins in Abuja. Trial of 500 terrorism suspects begins in Abuja. 227 suspects arraigned, court sentences 4 to various jail terms, trial to last 1 week. This will also form part of our today's discussion.
Terrorists are now being tried.
Yes.
What do you make out of that?
Normally.
Is it a welcome development?
Of course. Naturally, when you arrest a culprit, you first try. You just can't pronounce judgment on them the moment you arrest them or kill them or lock them. They have to pass through certain legal procedures. They should be tried, and then if found guilty, sentenced appropriately in accordance with their crimes to whatever jail terms or even other punishment. I think that is a step in the right direction. Although some people are even thinking that some of them perhaps might be forgiven and then reintegrated back into the society.
I was about going to that place.
Yes. But still, we'll discuss this further as we.
Yes, because there's been a plan on ground that some of these bandits, based on their level of involvement, that some might be granted pardon.
Exactly.
Because some were forcefully co-opted,
yes,
allegedly.
Exactly. At
forcefully co-opted into
12, 13, 14, they don't have their mental faculty is not well developed. They will be abducted and then forced, indoctrinated, brainwashed, and then forced to carry out these nefarious activities.
The 500 of them, what do you see? That's too much.
No, we are not saying all of them. They have to be categorized. Do you understand? There are those that will be tried, and then for me, they should also be killed. Do you understand? Then there
those that are extremists.
Exactly.
The fundamentalists among them.
That will be sentenced to certain years imprisonment in accordance with their the role they played. And then there are ones. You see, do you know that among the Boko Haram there are those that have never even carried an arm before? These are the ones they call drivers of something. They will be sent.
The spies.
The ones that are carrying the guns and machineries.
Okay.
They will go and destabilize the place. Then those ones, their own responsibility is going to loot the communities.
All the ones that goes for intelligent gatherings.
All of them.
Information.
These are the various functions they play. So I don't think.
But if you look at the number being paraded, 500. What does that tell you? That we have so many young people involved in this
Of course.
deadly act. Now, this is 500 first appearance. Probably we have some still, waiting trial.
So what do you expect?
We still have some.
I can't even understand why you'll be surprised seeing this last number.
Excuse me.
I can't understand why you'll be surprised. What do you expect in a country of 200 million population, which is mostly this population is mostly constituted by the youth, and you leave them unemployed, you leave them in hunger, you leave them with low skill? What do you expect? They can naturally fall back to any kind of crime they found themselves in.
So poverty is one of
that is
you are attributing this large participation of terrorism
poverty.
to poverty.
Exactly, poverty. Strong, able-bodied youth. You allow them to wallow the seat. Some of them have gone to school. That initially when that Boko Haram something started, some of them were having BSc physics, first class BSc physics, BSc engineering, BEd. Some of them are well educated. They are at the initial stage. I don't even know now. Do you understand? And then the ones that are not educated, they have skills, but no provision has been made to at least cushion the effect, bring employment to them. So they are naturally easy target.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Like I said earlier, that will also form one of the strong basis for our discussion today. I think that will be the second topic. Let's go to the next newspaper, please. Daily Trusts.
Nigeria on the brink of collapse. CSO.
Nigeria on the brink of
flare killings, abductions, and rising poverty. Ask government to protect democracy from hijack and rebuild trust in judiciary. Nigeria on the brink of collapse. CSOs.
What that means, Nigeria is about to collapse.
Exactly.
The civil service organization, civil society organization,
yes,
as they have come out to say that Nigeria is about to collapse.
Because we are living on a very fragile foundation now.
I don't want to believe so.
One, there is rampant, a very serious level of insecurity across the northern region generally. And then do not happen to be one of the regions, if not the major region.
Most hit.
The major region. It's one of the most, almost the major region that ensures unity in this country.
You mean the North?
Yes. That's why when I was talking to you about how the politics being played in the North, I told you that you will find when there are 5 political parties, major political parties in Nigeria, will see that the northern region will be found in all over the political parties, unlike the other regions, where we know that they always have their one strong particular political party dominant in that region before some of them will not decide to join the other ones. So the North is the center of unity. And the North currently is almost being destabilized due to insecurity in all manner, in all forms. Is it insurgency? Is it bandits? Is it banditry? Is this regional and ethno-religious crisis? You find all manner of violence taking place all over the North.
Okay, let's look at the indices that was the factors that were stated, to back up their claims that Nigeria is about to collapse. That is the verge of collapsing. And one of them was let's
go back to the paper again.
Go back to the paper, please. One of them was what? Poverty.
Flare killings, abductions, and rising poverty.
Rising poverty, killings.
We made reference to that earlier, particularly the poverty.
So these are the factors.
This poverty issue is also more biting and more painful. It is common to all Nigerians, but it's more biting still in the North. Maybe perhaps due to their large population of youth that are out of school, that are not well educated. Do you understand? So that is why it is biting harder on the North. And the North happens to have the larger population of the country. The North alone, although not based on statistics, has about maybe between 35 to 40% of the general population of the nation. I said I'm not basing it on population.
I understand.
A very rough estimate. So you see, and when you have the youth dominating the large chunk of the population, and then a large chunk of that population still unemployed, unskilled, what do you expect?
So are you saying that these factors you've just listed, has the potential to collapse a country?
Of course, coupled with others. Just like you said, there are quite a long list of variables that they might have observed and then came to that conclusion. Do you understand? And then again, apart from the insecurity, also instability in the in health. People are very sick now these days because you can also attribute that to hunger. Do you understand?
Okay.
And then very, very fragile political situation that we found ourselves in, because this crisis that we are almost facing, the crisis in the opposition party, the tendency that one party may dominate everything in Nigeria, the tendency they may be forced to adopt a single party system. I tell you, not in principle, not constitutionally.
But a single party system in Nigeria. Do you see? Do you
create very high level of?
Sorry, Mr. Ibrahim. Do you think a single party system in Nigeria is possible? A country like Nigeria that is a blend of so many tribes, so many regions, beliefs, and what have you. Do you see it possible?
That is why they are saying that they are seeing sign of destabilization in the country. Because if anybody tries to make his will, personal will, to dominate the will of the generality of Nigerian population, it may lead to anarchy and crisis, and it may lead. Already, I told you that we are living on a very fragile.
That's what the newspaper is telling us.
I just hope they sit down and think, the powers that be, the people that want to do this to us, sit down very well and think about it. And then the world cannot afford to see another human crisis in Africa, particularly in Nigeria. Do you understand? Problems taking place in Middle East, whose population is just maybe just small percentage of Nigerian population. By the time that Nigeria is destroyed, it's going to be a serious global crisis. So
we hope it doesn't happen.
Already some countries are crying that their countries are taken over by Nigeria. Then what do you imagine?
Well, I don't think we are
not praying for so.
I don't think we'll get to that level, but we're very hopeful that it will get to that level. However, the projections by the CSOs is something that one needs to look into. It calls for serious concern.
The second one, ask government to protect democracy from hijack.
Yes.
That hijack means not trying to force us into one party.
Who is hijacking democracy?
We will discuss this. Allowing the other political parties, opposition political parties, to just die naturally or to be weakened beyond remedy. Because once these parties are weakened beyond remedy, like I tell you, the most important thing is it will create voter apathy. Even the voters, even the loyalists to those opposing political parties, they decide not to participate.
No, the issue of creating voter apathy, I also want to disagree to an extent with you in that aspect. However, these attacks being issues faced by the African Democratic Congress, that is ADC, might also whip up some form of sentiment, voter sentiments. Some might say, why are they troubling these people? There's something about them. Like I said earlier, that Nelson Mandela said something. He said, when you see a man being talked about, everybody's talking about him, whether good or bad, go close to him. There's something great about him.
Exactly.
So I want to also, told towards that line that there's something probably great about the
opposition parties.
Looking at the array of political bigwigs that are there.
Exactly.
Whether you like it or not, the coming together of the likes of Kwankwaso, P2B, Atiku, El-Rufai, and the rest of them. These are people that have been tested.
They are Rebe Sholas,
and the rest of them coming together to say they want to,
drive a political front.
Yes, a political front
to oppose the incumbent.
It's a threat, political threat to anybody.
Exactly.
Whether the ruling party opposes or agrees to that or not, it is a threat to anybody. But let's see how it goes. We do hope that Nigeria is not going to collapse.
Exactly.
Just as stated by the CSOs here, by the grace of God, it is not going to collapse. Not in our own time.
Not in our own time, by the grace of God.
All right, let's see the next newspaper, please.
This is the point. ADC crisis 2027 button. ADC crisis worsens as faction claims control. ADC crisis worsens as faction claims control. Mark-led ADC insists on convention. Aggrieved chieftains announce caretaker committee. Then we have Doctors End Strike Hospital reopen. Doctors End Strike Hospital reopens. This is just yesterday we were reading that
just yesterday the resident doctors went on strike.
Yes, thank God.
Started the strike.
I remember you make an observation that, wow, there are so many people that are now expected to go into surgery. Died yesterday.
Probably they heard our plea.
I hope so. And the plea of many others like
that would be more disastrous than even the issue being faced by ADC. Because
honestly speaking, this
resident doctors going on strike. I remember the last time, you know, a friend of mine, the wife was due for delivery, and we went to the hospital where the wife was, you know, had been observing her antenatal, and lo and behold, we did not see any doctor. It was, wow. I must tell you, it was a very sorry sight. I witnessed the woman shouting. The baby was, you know, trying to come out. It was right in the car. Was driving. It was not a sweet experience. That was the day I started respecting women, because I saw what I saw that day was hellish. And doctors going on strike, we want to thank God that they are back. They are back, yes. Because it's not something one will wish for a nation. However, we also want to appeal to government to look into their plights, because I think the reason why they are going on strike is not far-fetched. It has to do with
salaries and wages.
Yes, and this issue has been ongoing before now.
For a very long time.
For a very long time. The likes of ASU and the rest of them.
And it's causing the country a lot of very, very, very sad situations. See,
brain drain.
Like I told you yesterday, many of Nigerian doctors are practicing abroad. Great many of Nigerian doctors, very, very skillful hands.
Yes.
Expert in surgery, expert in community health. Orthopedic, I think one of the best orthopedic doctors in India is still a Nigerian. There are so many of them.
I think there was a story that was told that a particular respected Nigerian came to the hospital here in Nigeria to book a section for, you know, medical observation. And he was told that the doctor is not around, that he should come back. So he later came back and decided, okay, let him go to London to do the same thing. And on getting to London, it was that same doctor that he was looking for in Nigeria that he met in London.
You see?
And he was wondering what's happening. So, and we found out that the man is an expert, or what we call a consultant. He was invited to London to attend to a particular medical issue. And lo and behold, he met that man there in London. And it was the same doctor that he was looking for in Nigeria that he met in London. So we want to appeal to government to see, we have the best hands. This nation is blessed with brains. And we want to hope that and pray that government will attend to them so that they don't go on strike again.
Yes.
All right. Can we also see, okay, do we have any other catchy?
Yes. Yes, oil shocks. World Bank predicts 3.1% inflation rise for Nigeria.
World Bank is predicting again. You know, you say you have issues with foreign organizations making economic bold statements about Nigeria. Probably because they don't have a first-hand.
I didn't mention the word problem. It's just that
you're not comfortable.
I'm not comfortable with their reports, honestly speaking. I don't swallow what.
It doesn't reflect the true situation of the country.
Yes, hood, line, and sinker. I don't swallow whatever report.
But I keep telling you that
because whatever
they have their sources and their facts.
They do. Whatever report they give you, please start to listen to me now.
No, as a reputable organization, Mr. Ibrahim,
I'm not saying they are not reputable. What I'm telling you is that whatever report they will give you, it's a report that will protect their interests. If they give you stringent reasons, stringent conditions to dash loan to you, and those conditions has to do with your economy, and they expect you to follow it to the total, at the end of the year, they know they are monitoring you. They cannot give you a report based that will make you uncomfortable to come back to them again.
So are you saying that some of these reports are falsified? They are not true?
There are reports to calm the government. Keep doing it. You are doing good. I'm telling you. If it is really good, it must have reflected on the human capital of the country. If whatever advice,
if it is really good, we will not be seeing poverty.
You will see it on the citizen. Why will you tell me that the report is that I'm doing good? You borrow me money to do certain things to improve the life of my citizenry, and the life of my citizenry is becoming worse. And then at the end of the year, you give me a report that I'm doing well. How can common sense accept that?
Are you,
No, I come into the layman's language now. Maybe some of the languages we are speaking, some people will not understand. That is just the essence. This is just the meaning.
are you saying it doesn't tally at all?
At all for me?
Okay, the policy statement they are making or whatever statement they are making,
It's a
it does not reflect.
Yes,
it doesn't tally with the real reality on
for
ground.
me, no. For
Okay.
me, go to the market. Go.
I just believe they have
Go
their
to Karmo
sources.
and see children that are roaming the street where their parents could not pay them school fees. Yeah? Some people eat once a day. Go and see what is the price of the what do you call it? This dish that they are measuring rice with. Last 3-4 years, how much is it being sold in the market? What is it being sold today?
Well,
if you are the type that buy a whole bag of rice, how much do you used to buy it 4 years ago or 5 years ago? How much are you buying it now?
So what bank is
They
not?
keep dodging you more. This administration borrowed money that the previous 3 administrations put together have not yet borrowed.
And when they are still borrowing.
They are still borrowing. That is why they will keep patting them on the shoulder. Keep borrowing. You are doing good. Keep going. That's what they're doing to deceive us and make life very, very difficult to Africans and third world countries.
Okay, Mr. Shaibu, I think I would like to stop you there because I can see that we may not agree on that totally. I want to respect.
You'll meet me behind the door.
I'm not meeting you behind any doors. I'm telling you, we're live on TV, and I'm telling you that that's your own point of view.
Personally, I've never.
By my own point of view, I think I differ a bit by telling you that such a reputable organizations have their sources.
I would rather believe in the reports of, given by this civil society organization, because this is a Nigerian institution.
The Yaga Africa and the rest of them.
Yes. They are living within us. They know what is happening.
They feel the pulse of the people.
Of course, some of them suffer.
And you are saying the World Bank does not feel?
Why is
we don't have Nigerians. Don't we have Nigerians in World Bank? Don't we have Nigerians in World Bank?
I beg, let's move forward.
Let's continue, please. Okay, let's have other newspaper, please.
That's all for the Punch.
That's all for the Punch. All right, the last newspaper we have here is the sports.
Lukman returns for a huge Catalans test. I think Lukman is a Nigerian player. Barcelona versus Atletico. Lukman returns for a huge Catalans test.
Okay, any other caption there?
Then Okonkwo gets FIFA's nod to fight for Eagles shirt. Okonkwo gets FIFA's nod to fight for Eagles shirt. Okay, I think this player wants to start playing to his country, Nigeria.
Yes, and well, let's be very hopeful that he will succeed in what is his pursuits.
We have a lot of good footballers.
No, we have them. Lukman is one of our best players. We know that. I think he's playing for what the Nigerians call it ATM. That is Atletico Madrid. Okay. He's playing for a very nice club and he's doing pretty well. I want to believe and hope that he survives that whatever test he's going for. All right, Mr. Ibrahim, thank you very much for doing a good job on the newspaper review, even though we try to disagree in some quarters. But let the discussion continue. We're going to go on a short break, and when we return, we dive straight into the topic of the day. This is P&B Morning Show. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back. This is P&B Morning Show, and my name is Steve Chidi Kenneth. And still with me, I have with me my co-host, Mr. Ibrahim Shaibu. You're welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Siki.
All right, we're going to dive straight into the first topic of the day. As we all know, there is an emergence of a new faction, a fresh faction in the ADC, headed by Don Norman Obinna. This issue has further created a deeper crack in the ADC. And it is coming at a time where some Nigerians are yet to recover from the already existing power tussle in the ADC. This political development has left many wondering, when will this political brouhaha in the ADC end? Is the ADC truly going to clean up its house before the 2027 elections? What will be the next move for the ADC? Mr. Ibrahim, this is a very, very disturbing situation.
Honestly speaking.
Disturbing for democracy, disturbing for our political lives as a nation. What's your take on that, Lisa?
Well, though surprising, though unexpected, it's not surprising for me. Because like we always say, when the APC came up, we were thinking this is now, when we saw the caliber of people that are trooping into the APC, we thought, yes, this is a very good sign that we will have a very, very fine democratic transition, very, very fine election, because at least there is one or two strong opposition parties that can now challenge the current administration. When we say challenge, we are not saying that we don't like the current administration, we want it to go. But we are just saying that let there be fair playing field. You understand? Rather than seeing, like I always say, one dominant party emerging and taking control of everything. Seeing ADC in place and how it is waxing closer, stronger by the day, and then seeing the PDP also trying to resolve their differences, even to the extent of having had their convention. Isn't that so?
Yes.
So we feel, okay, it is now okay. At least there are two very strong political parties, opposition political parties, that are going to contest with the incumbent. That is what we wanted to see.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who wins the election at the end of the day. At least we had a very fine political dispensation. That's our objective.
But this current fresh faction, is it more trouble for ADC?
Of course it is. That's what I was coming to.
Okay.
Initially we were happy there was going to be very good opposition. Then the first crisis came up when this nephew somebody issues
the nephew saga.
They haven't yet resolved that, and then another trouble is now coming back again to the ADC. So by this now, the ADC is gradually becoming more and more destabilized. They are not now presently concentrating on bringing closer their loyalists and party members together. They are not thinking about continuing with registration of those who are trooping into the party. They are not even planning how they will go about carrying out their what do you call it?
Plans.
Campaigns. They are now all concentrated on how do we be able to resolve our differences now. So all eyes, all energy is now being divested in how to make the party stable. Not how to go about like now.
So you are trying to say that the ship and the storm.
Exactly.
The storm
exactly.
is the ship is
while the ruling party is already had their congress, they have now agreed to
cruising.
Cruising, making preparations for 2027, having everything to their advantage. The opposition are now not even being stable as a political party.
Some might argue that this whole political brouhaha is designed to continue to distract the ADC.
Exactly. But who is doing what? We don't even know.
Let me borrow your word. The unseen hands.
The unseen hands. Exactly.
But I don't want to believe.
That's why I said I don't want to know who are.
I don't. You know, I tried to prompt you there.
That's why I say unseen. I did not mention any name.
The unseen hands. Yeah, we know.
Because obviously, when you see a political party becoming stronger, especially an opposition political party, and then when you have a very strong ruling party, it can do, like I tell you, the end in politics, the end justifies the means. And I don't blame the ruling party. Whatever they will do, they want to ensure that they win at all costs. Even the opposition, if they have their way, they will do whatever they can to make sure that the incumbent does not return. So I'm not blaming anybody.
So it's a gladiatorial fight.
Exactly. But on the part of the if the unseen hand, if the unseen hand has to do maybe it's the ruling party. This unseen hand you keep mentioning. I'm making an analogy.
I hope I will see the hand one day.
I will not see you. That's why I want to make the use of the word "and." If the unseen hand, allegedly, if the unseen hand is the dominant party, is the ruling party, I think it's not healthy for our democracy, because the ruling party should allow for opposition. Do you understand? Should allow it to, maybe it may decide to weaken it, but not to destroy it fully. But what is happening now in the ADC, we are moving towards total destruction. Okay. Because already there is a crisis, and you are deepening that crisis. Okay. Apart from Obina, don't be surprised. After 3-4 days, another different faction will emerge.
Who is Obina? Don Norman Obina. Was he a member of the ADC? Has he ever held any political position, or maybe any position as the National Working Committee member in the ADC before now?
I have never heard his name. And even when I tried to check who he is, I didn't get actually anything stronger to go by to say, well, anyway, he has He has.
So on what premises is he standing?
That is my question too.
What is he standing? Is he standing as, oh, I was one time the vice chairman, national vice chairman. I was one time the secretary of the party. What premises is he standing on? Because just yesterday, the news just popped up everywhere, and the whole polity was, was in disarray. And one is beginning to wonder who is Don Norman Obinna prior to this time, because we were used to the fact that we had the nephew faction.
We know who nephew was.
Yes, we know who nephew was.
The vice president.
Yes, and we knew on the premise of which he was standing, making his argument. And at some point, we were beginning to see light at the end of the tunnel. But now, it's like the tunnel itself is broken. And well, let's see.
Because even this Obina issue, there are people that are not really taking it serious. But unlike me, for me, any slight crisis in the party is not supposed to be under.
Why do you think they're not taking it serious?
Because, like you said, we don't know the premise on which Obina was standing. Do you understand? If you are nobody in this P&B station, you just can't walk into this station and say,
I'm trying to make up a case.
Exactly. But in Nafi's case, we knew Nafi was one time the vice chairman of the party, and then evidently there was gray areas,
even though there was deniers and counter deniers of signatures and the rest of them,
or he had resigned or what. But in Obina's case, who knew Obina? So that's why some people will tend to look at it, forget about this, and let's continue what we are doing. There are people that will do that, but like I tell you, me, although not a practicing politician, I know that any small crisis in the party is not supposed to be underestimated. It is supposed to be taken seriously. And this small thing they are saying as if it is nothing, may be actually what will bring the party as a whole down, rather than nephew mark crisis.
You mean the Obina fact?
Exactly. That's why don't underestimate, because we don't know the powers behind him. We wish we do.
So you mean there are some powers back to your unseen hands?
Unseen hands behind this. No, see,
me, I don't believe it's unseen. Let me tell you my position, Mr. Ibrahim. My position is this: probably those who formed the coalition in the ADC, did not do
their homework well,
did not conduct their due diligence very well. It's like a man who is going to buy a property.
Do you know the kind of people you are talking about?
I'm probably. Allegedly,
these are people that have been the number three. One of them has been the number 3 citizen in this country, Senate president. These are real party men. These are real politicians. These are people that do not.
Does it negate the fact that they are subject to mistakes? And
it's not just one person. They are a group of what I may even call political technocrats.
Some might argue with you that no, despite the high profile, high profile ranking politicians that we have, they are still humans.
Of course, now
we don't know. I don't want to believe, because the APC seems to be chilling. The APC seems to be, relaxing. I've not heard of any, internal wrangling or crack in the APC so far.
Until recently,
even though they have, but they've managed it properly. Some might say because they are the ruling party, and they have the influence of the president to be able to resolve in-house issues. But this one of the ADC, from one trouble to another trouble, now we are seeing the Obina faction. Like you said, we don't know who else is going to rise up again. So looking at all these transitions and progressions of issues, what advice do you have for the ADC? Do you see the ADC surviving this whole thing before the 2027 general election?
I keep saying, honestly, I'm a guy that always have hopes. I keep saying yes, I do. I may not be 100% sure, but my system is telling me that yes, they can still fight this thing up, and then they can still come.
Unfortunately, your system is not the politics. It's not the politics. Your system is you. But is this series of problems, fresh problems and factions, is it weakening the party or strengthening the party, ADC?
You see, political parties are formed by people who come together with similar ideologies and then chart a common cause or objective. And then you cannot bring 100 people together in a room and say that you do not expect them to have crisis. Why this crisis is not taking place in the ruling party is because of the dominant figure of the president. He's already in power, and no power can challenge his decision. And they know him, that he's a strategist. So whatever decisions he gives them, they now work on it. Unlike the ADC, where everybody is contending for certain power or not. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So these are to be expected in the oppositions. And then again, we know that whatever the ruling party can do to ensure that it has won for a second chance, it can do. That is why some people are thinking, no, these are tactics prepared and arranged from Asorok. I'm not saying I believe it, but this is the opinion of other people.
That is what it's looking like.
Yes, it may be true, it may not be true. Because in the past, it had happened several times. You see strong ruling parties try to weaken the opposition party to the extent that, like I said, some people would like interest in even participating in the politics. There are so many people.
Okay, let me also digress a bit. What will be the next move for the ADC? What do you think will be their next move now? You know, the last time we was it last week? We saw where ADC was considering an option of, you know,
joining other political parties
or moving
or creating another new one.
Creating or whatever.
These are options.
Do you think that this will not propel them to do that?
Yes, these are options. They have these two options, but the third option will be, you see, you will begin to see them having meetings in the house of one of those political bigwigs. Maybe we'll begin to see either Peter Obi or Atiku or Konkoso call emergency meeting in his house with a view to funding, to resolving the issues. They always find ways of doing that. I would have preferred they put their house in order, become a united front, even including the nephew. You understand? And then agreeing on who to hold the party, who will lead the party to their convention.
But with the influence of the unseen hand, like you said, allegedly, do you see nephew agreeing? Now we have a nephew faction, we have the Obiena faction, we have the David Arigbasola faction. Do you think these three factions can come together? Because now for the Obiena faction, it's not clear yet what his stakes.
What is giving him the strength to do that?
Yes, what is giving him is the strength is politics. What is giving him that strength is politics. He's playing politics.
Exactly.
Obiena is playing politics. That's the truth. Even though the politics that he's playing might not be clean, perceived clean politics.
That is why the discussion
is playing politics, because why I said Obiena is playing politics is this. Why now? Now the tussle between Nephew and the Arable Solar Group and the Zimbabwe has been on for like weeks
now.
And you've been silent. Now when the whole matter now seems to look as if though there is light at the end of the tunnel, and Obiena just came out from nowhere. So it's politics. If you calculate these whole moves, you will see that these things are orchestrated. You know, and sometimes it goes to show the very funny characters of some politicians. How can you be an instrument of, for me, I'm picking my mind, how can you be an instrument of destruction? I'm not saying he is, but allegedly, how can you be that? For me, I don't think somebody just coming out and trying to, coerce me into destroying something that is working. And I don't know why Obiena is doing what he's doing, but I want to believe he's just playing politics.
When you go through the social media and read what is happening in the social media, there are people that are thinking that whatever crisis the ADC is suffering is as a result is because of one person who has a lot of political enemies, one person who is determined to be rule this country at least once, and one person who has so very strong enemies that will not want him to be there. They are thinking everything that's been done in the ADC is about Atiku. There are people that do not want to see Atiku emerge as a presidential candidate of the ADC. Do you understand? This is another school of thought from the social media. Some of those that are making this rhetoric are very, very, very intelligent, well-placed people. Some of them are political scientists. Some of them are even academicians. You understand? Then there are another group of people that are thinking the whole atmosphere in ADCs is being destabilized to pave way for younger people to emerge as the candidate.
Like the Peter Obi and the rest of them.
Peter Obi, but especially Peter Obi and Konkoso. So that at least the power should still be shifted down south. So you understand? They do not want to disturb
the question will remain
exactly this gentleman agreement. And with the strength of Atiku, signs are clearer that he may ultimately, although he's making statement that no, even if at the end of the day I'm not chosen as the flag bearer of the party, I can support whoever emerges. He has been making this statement. The people are still doubting whether those
the genuinity of that statement.
The genuinity of that statement, and they are alleging that it is because of that they are trying to, wherever he moves, the crisis will follow him. That is why I prefer them coming down to sit together and then agree. For me,
and now you are charting the way forward now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. For me, I will agree. Let them sit down. See, this our opposition party is very strong. We have chance of unseating the incumbent.
They should not make that mistake.
Exactly, incumbent president. If this is our goal, and for us to achieve that, sir, be our political father, be our leader.
Why we be at the forefront?
Then support us. Let's do that. We will still remain loyal to you. I like this kind of gentleman discussion. You understand? I belong to the school of thought that believe that power should remain in the South. Whether I like this present administrator to continue or not, that one will form subject of another discussion. You understand? Yes, but I want power to remain in South so that the system may not be destabilized.
Okay, Mr.
Although I know many will disagree with me.
Mr. Ibrahim, yes. Quick one. Do you see this political brouhaha ending soon?
Yes, I keep saying yes. I still think, I will still feel.
But some might argue with you that it's not true.
Because you keep asking me, and you keep saying that. Okay,
some might argue it's not true. That might not end true. Because
where will my
you see this?
You are asking me about my opinion.
Yes, I respect it.
Yeah,
but you see, just yesterday,
so not everybody, but even the when this power to remain in the South.
Excuse me, do you know when this news broke out yesterday? Honestly, a lot of people were still arguing that it's a rumor.
Even me, I thought it's a rumor. Honestly speaking.
Everybody was like, no, it's a rumor. Until now we are seeing it.
Remember I chatted you on WhatsApp, I sent a message and I quickly deleted it.
That it has not been verified.
Exactly. Because I was not feeling, I checked, I couldn't see it anywhere.
Because yesterday we had a very major football match.
Yes.
Within two football heavyweights, likes of Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. So while we're watching that, most Nigerians, lovers of football, they did not really pay attention to what is going on in our polity. Yes. And then the next thing we started hearing, flying information that another faction fresh factions of the ADC. We just saw it as one of those social media.
Let me tell you.
Now we are seeing it.
Let me take you back to 1979. Although you were kids at that time, but I could still be able to.
You sure I was a kid then?
I'm talking about me.
Okay.
Because I remember I was still in primary school, but I can still recall a lot of things.
You are right. If you called me a kid then, I was
we were the ones that would go.
I would be a kid, even though some
around that time, I remember very well that we are the ones that will be sent to the market, go and buy clothes to come and make all these flags for the political parties. In Maiduguri, the dominant party used to be the NNPP. So you see,
you have been participating in politics.
I'm telling you, I'm very, very aware of what happened. In fact, I even attempted to vote. I remember that was 19. Then some people cut me and say, "Who sent you to come here?" They give me a hell of bulala. I don't know how I get the voting card on the ground. So I didn't know that
I will say you have been the part. You have been part of the political
time that even
you have been a part of the political problem.
Voter card or something has everybody's name on. I didn't know. I just saw it on the ground. Somebody threw it. Also, I took it. I say, "Why do they do it?" They show me. So I went again.
Okay.
So what happened that time was Waziri Ibrahim used to align with Nnamdi Azikiwe. They were in a party called National Nigeria People's Party, NPP. And they were clearly the one that can challenge the strongest party at that time, which was MPN, with their presidential candidate, Alai Shehu Shagari. So even the MPN knew that if a party will be a serious challenge to them, is the NPP rather than the UPN headed by Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Because Waziri Ibrahim used to be the father of politics without bitterness.
The father of politics without bitterness?
Yes.
Do we still have that kind of politics?
Just few days.
Do we still have that kind of politics?
No, we don't. Just
so what we have now, politics?
Just few months to election. Crisis came into the NPP. Just very few months. And that is what destabilized the party and gave MPN the success.
So we are seeing a repeat of that now. So is that what you are trying to say?
Waziri Ibrahim pulled out of the NPP and then registered his own party He just put G in front of the MPP, called it Great Nigeria People's Party, GNPP. And he campaigned vigorously and ended up having, I think, 2 or 3 governors. I think Borno was won by him, then by his party, the new GNPP, few months ago. Then I think Gongola State. Gongola is what is now referred to as Adamawa. It used to comprise of Adamawa, Taraba, and I think parts of Gombe State. So even at the last few hours, for the last few months, I believe they can wrap up things and then face what is ahead of them. If not, they can quickly form another political party and then decide to contest, or join a party that's already registered, is in place. I see most of them going back to maybe SDP, because initially they wanted, most of people that joined ADC when they left the ruling party, they wanted to go to SDP, not actually ADC. You remember this? Their intention was to find themselves in SDP, so they may still think about that. I don't know, but I still believe something can be done.
Okay, you still believe something can be done, but some will be arguing that this might be the end of the road for ADC because the issue is becoming unpredictable. Every time now, just yesterday, we're just having a new faction, and it's becoming a situation that raises serious concern.
After all, PDP still survives.
Well, PDP is still
fair share of crisis.
But it has not ended yet.
It has not yet ended, and it left the party very, very weak.
Well, it left the party very weak, but do you see what happened in PDP happen in ADC?
No, the crises are different in nature.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I'm happy you are agreeing that they are different in nature.
That's why I believe it can be.
Well, I'm happy they are different in nature because the drama is different, the approach is different.
Even the circumstances.
The circumstances different. Yet to understand and establish who Don Norman Obinna is.
But my advice is for them, please, to have time to sit down and talk things together rather than allowing the party to perish. Because this is not, they should be fair to Nigerians. They should not allow the party to die, because this is the party that now forms the strongest opposition. When they allow this to party, they are being unfair to Nigerians.
Okay, now before I let you go on this topic, this whole brouhaha going on now, is it good for our democracy?
It's not. I've just said that. It's not. It's unfair to Nigerians, honestly.
Does this also show that we have party ideology, or do we have party ideology in this country?
That is our major problem. If our politics is...
So our problem is all about grabbing power?
That is it. If our politics is governed by ideology, which seems to sustain, it is only people that are governed by ideology, politicians that are governed by ideology are the only politicians that can work for the interests of the country and for the interests of the citizens. But ours is not. That is why you keep seeing politicians crossing carpet from one political party to another.
Cross-carpeting.
Cross-carpeting. It's very difficult. Let me tell you something. It's very, very difficult for a Democrat to become a Republican. Or vice versa. Very, 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 very difficult. In fact, I've only had it once. Only once in my life. And that was a long time ago. I think it was because, Jimmy Carter was the only president that ruled America. I think was the first term. He did not get to the second term. And it was because of that. And he happens to be the only Catholic American president. I think what led to one of the congressmen changing from Republican to Democrat is because of the issue around Jimmy Carter's re-election. So I read the history a very long time ago. Apart from that, you can hardly see a Republican converting to a Democrat, or a Democrat converting to a Republican. And we always say that we are copying American system of democracy.
And some will be asking, what are we copying?
Yes, nothing.
So it's all about power grabbing.
It's just about power grabbing. They just want to grab power. That is all it. And acquire wealth.
And this brings me to the fact that once the president is, this is one of the countries where I see, as soon as the president is being sworn in, 1 year into office,
you will start campaigning for a second term.
And these are the issues that you start campaigning for the second term, just 1 year into office. In fact, 100 days into office, the president, you are already seeing signs of, campaigns, silent campaigns, attempts to return back to that same office.
Exactly.
Without even doing anything to show for it, allegedly. So these are the issues that, we see in our polity, and it's really giving us.
But this is the first time I see some powers trying to weaken the opposition party. Seriously. I've never witnessed this in this country.
So are you saying somebody?
Are
you saying that just like you rightly say that they are unseen hands?
There are.
Are you saying that there are also people who are unseen, scared people?
Since you want me to talk,
wait. How will I use it? Do we have unseen people that are afraid, or
unseen people that are afraid,
or people that are scared? Are they politicians that are scared of this block of ADC members?
Yes, I'm telling you.
And they are unseen too.
It's a threat to them. It's a threat to their goal and objective of coming to second term. So I've said what you wanted to say.
The coming together of these gladiators is a threat.
Look at the people there. Please, these are the people that put the incumbent in his position today. These are some of the people. To be fair with, to be honest with yourself, just look at people holding ministerial position today, not ministerial, key position in this current administration. When the campaign was going on for President Tinubu to become president, do you know them?
The Wike is one of them. Wike is strong too.
I said most of them. I didn't say all of them. I said some of them. I'm not even talking about the ministerial position. If you talk about the ministerial position, majority of them have participated in ensuring that president is where he is. But those who are holding key positions, others, director generals,
in the ruling party,
no, in the country,
in this current administration,
it is those people in the ADCs that have worked hard to bring the current government in power. He knows the power
that can be argued.
They know the power they carry.
That can be argued. I don't think I want to agree with you totally on that. ADC has a lot of strong men. We have the likes of Akpabio, we have the likes of Wike, we have the likes of Anenuga, we have a lot of strong.
You didn't hear what I said?
I heard you, sir. I heard you.
So,
but vis-a-vis ADC,
in fact, some of them are even friends to them. Just like we always talk, they are friends to one another. All these people that are fighting today, tomorrow you go see them together laughing and shaking hands. They know themselves.
Policies of interest.
They know who will win who. And this is Sanjuna. They know who is capable of.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
Just interest.
Exactly. They know when these guys, if I allow these guys to hold together, my seat.
With what you have said now before we go, that means Nigerians should not take this whole political tussle to heart. Nigerians should just trade with caution, because I can see that some supporters are already taking this thing personal. Some are very emotional about it. You go to the social media, you go to all kinds of media, you see Nigerians reacting. Some are even getting physical among themselves.
Exactly.
So what advice do you have to Nigerians, the voters, supporters?
Thank you that you asked me this question. You see, whatever is happening in the ADC is not even a matter of concern to people that are smart. Do you understand? At the end of the day, it's the voters' vote that matters. So let Nigerians know that whatever is happening across parties, they should just know if they are feeling good, they know they are feeling good. If they are living well, they know they are living well. So let your voters card work for you. That's just what I will say.
Vote your conscience.
Vote within your conscience. Know what is right for you and vote according to how you feel today. If what you are feeling is okay, then vote the other way. If what you are feeling is not okay, then vote the other way again. This is my advice for you. Don't even mind what is happening to ADC or to APC or to PDP. Don't vote according to party. Vote according to personalities. That's my advice.
All right, Mr. Ibrahim, I think I would like to stop here. And thank you very much for doing a very good job on this issue. However, we let the discussion continue. I will look at it later on. We'll dive into it. For those of us that wants to understand what is going on, you can go to the newspaper stand and then grab a copy, read, and understand what is going on. And we're very hopeful that everything will be well with our polity. The atmosphere will be set for election. We don't pray to see a one-party system next election. That will not happen. Most likely not going to happen, because in Nigeria we have grown democratically. We have grown
more aware, more mature.
Yes. We are over 20-something years.
Even though we keep making comparison and give examples of Cameroon, we know that Nigeria is not Cameroon and Nigerians are not Cameroonians.
No, Nigerians are not Cameroonians. All right, thank you very much. We'll be coming back. We'll be going on a short break, I beg your pardon. And when we return, we'll be diving straight to the second topic of the day. This is Politics and Business Television. Please stay tuned. All right, welcome back. Millions of Nigerians are dealing with a very terrible situation. terrorism. The continuous rampage in our nation by terrorist group and bandits has remained a serious concern in our country, despite the relentless effort by our security forces to curb the situation. Again, the judiciary has taken a bold step by parading huge number of suspected terrorists in company of heavy security personnel. But the big question remains, is this move by the government to charge terrorists to court going to yield the desired results? Is the government becoming more proactive than reactive? Could this be the avenue by which some of these alleged culprits will be granted pardon as part of the plans by government to de-radicalize some terrorists? Mr. Shaibu.
Yes, Mr. Sike.
Terrorists are in court undergoing trials.
Yes.
Huge number of them. We read at the newspapers today, 500 of them.
This is a case for justice.
Amidst, you know, with the presence of so many heavy security personnel. What do you make out of this?
First of all, this represents case for justice. We are Nigeria as a country decide to consider the victims, the rights of the victim. Thousands have suffered killing, displacement, and trauma. Then ignoring accountability can deepen resentment. So that is why we are trying, the government is trying to say, okay, you have committed these crimes, you have to be accountable for it. You have to pay for what crimes you have committed. Otherwise, the victims whose parents, whose children have been murdered and killed, whose houses have been burnt or displaced, will feel aggrieved, and then resentment will fill their heart. So I think it's a step in that direction. Also, it will act as bringing them and facing justice will act as deterrence to those who are thinking of living the same, starting the same pattern of life in the future. So I think it's a step in the right direction, because naturally, when you commit an offense and you have not lost your life at the scene of the of committing the offense, and you are arrested, of course, naturally you are expected to face justice. You are supposed to be brought to the law and see what the law has in stock for you in accordance with the gravity of the offense you committed. I think that is a step in the right direction. But where I find the problem is, why will you keep gathering them till they reach up to this huge number, up to 500? Why didn't they before now keep making them face justice as they were arrested? You keep arresting them and then dumping them in prisons and cell. You keep arresting them and dumping them in prison and cell until now that you want to now pose a general judgment on all of them. That is the only, it's the logistical arrangement thing that is worrisome for me, not the fact that they are being made to face the law.
Okay, before now, Mr. Ibrahim, we've seen situations where, especially in recent times, where we see different attacks, different happenings, you know, serious killings going on. We've lost soldiers, we have theater commanders, we've lost a lot of people, the Just killing, the Kaduna killings, the Borno soldiers killing, and the rest of the Woro community, what they call it, Kwara State, and the rest of the so many multiple attacks happening simultaneously like that
all across the country.
Yes, and then over time we have I don't think we've seen this large number of terrorists being arraigned in court. 500 of them at once. I think this should be the first time.
This is the first time, honestly.
And they are standing before Justice Binta, what's her name again? Binta Nyako.
Yes.
And who has we know has a history of trying high-profile matters like this of national interest. We also had issues where the Chief of Defense Staff came out to say that some of these people should be forgiven, citing the case of the prodigal son in the Bible. Now, we also have the case of where Gumi came out to say that some of these bandits are also known, these terrorists are known by government. So we have had a lot of conspiracy theory out there, and then a lot of attacks. Now, when you try to marry these two things vis-a-vis, the current decision by the government to charge these people in court, like you said, gathering them in their large numbers and then bringing them out to try them in court. What do you think? Is it going to yield the desired result? And again, are they going to jettison, that idea of trying to de-radicalize some of them and then grant them pardon?
You see, first of all, These are Nigerians, just like the chief of defense staff has mentioned.
And most of them are Nigerians.
Most of them are Nigerians, and it's not all of them that are in these activities because they wanted to, or because they liked, or because they enjoyed doing those crimes while they were doing it. Some of them were forced. Their communities had been attacked. Their parents had been murdered and killed in front of them. Their properties had been looted, and then they were abducted. Their women and sisters and mothers were raped in front of them. Then finally they were abducted, indoctrinated, and forced to join these crimes, some of them. And there is a very large number of these 500. There is a very large number of people that belong to this category of people. These are those that joined this insurgency or banditry at a very young age. Some of them
they were co-opted.
Co-opted. If you say co-opted, sometimes co-option has to do with willingness. They were forced into it. It's different from being co-opted into it. When you co-opt me to something, I may decline. But when you abduct me and force me into it, it's totally a different ball game. You understand? And you find that most of these ones, they haven't yet found their brain fully developed. They are in their early teens, 13, 14, 15. So they grew up in the indoctrination, in being brainwashed. They were taught how to take arms. They were indoctrinated that the government is your enemy. Your people are your enemy. So when we categorize them, these are the ones that the government may consider bringing them back to the society through reintegration and with a view to bringing long-term stability. You are a psychologist. You you can expose somebody to training in such a way that he can be healed of his trauma.
Yes, but I want to argue with you here that some of them haven't been contaminated to this large extent. You know, I told you something that whoever has tested blood, it's going to be very difficult to radicalize such a person.
Difficult is not impossible.
Not they're difficult. Difficult.
You haven't said it's not.
No, but it's difficult because I do understand that even as a soldier, those who have been to war, when they return from whatever work assignment they come from, sometimes they stay out of guns for a while to enable them calm down because this act of killing.
Reintegration takes processes.
I understand it, but contamination also takes processes. One who has contracted HIV.
The aim.
Excuse me, one who has contracted HIV/AIDS now. What remedy do you do? When the blue full blown AIDS.
I'm not a doctor.
You're not a doctor, but you see, these guys have been contaminated. That's my own position, and that was also for me. That was good for my own line of thought in terms of judgment that will be melted to them. Because anybody that has been contaminated, regardless of how you were brought into the situation,
that is
doesn't matter for me.
Even in the legal system, even in the body constitution of countries, there is tampering of justice with mercy. There are people who are entitled.
There's plea for clemens.
Yes, there are people who are entitled to mercy, irrespective of what they committed. There are countries that even forgive. What do you call it? There's murder. What do you call it? A kind of murder that you commit willingly and voluntarily. Do you understand?
Okay.
So these ones, they have been indoctrinated. They have been forced to carry arms. They didn't even know what they were doing at that time. What does a 30-year-old know? His brain was developing in today's world. His brain was developing. See, there is different. When we say brain development, there are things, the way they will reason before they take an action. Taking responsibility. Their brain is not fully developed to know what is responsibility. They may be sexually virile, they may be physically trained to do manual job. Do you understand? But to sit down and reason like a human being is near impossible to a 13-year-old person. That is why
they are already a human being.
That is why.
I don't understand what you mean.
Why are we differentiating?
They are already a human being.
They are not adults.
But they are human beings.
In every country, there's a difference between the judgment you pass on an adult and on a child. They are not yet adult. So they should not be subjected to what the real commanders of the insurgency will be made to suffer. Please try to differentiate between these categories. They are not yet adult.
Somebody
that is 13 is not yet adult.
But for me, crime is crime, regardless of the age grade that committed that
No,
crime.
you can't speak
Because
like
this,
this.
we're
You are
talking
an
about
educated
capital
person.
crime. We're talking about capital crime here.
They are not yet adult.
A 13 years old that handled AK-47
why are you
to
against
shoot somebody and kill
why
that
are you
person.
against reintegrating some of these, particularly the young ones?
I'm against it because they've been contaminated. I just believe that when you
So
kill.
what's the purpose of let's now talk religiously. What is the purpose of repentance? Sin and repentance. Why did God in the first place bring about repentance?
Well, repentance is change, accepting that you are wrong in the first place, but the judgment will be melted at you.
No, I don't think you fully grasp it.
But that's my whole opinion.
Is for you to be
yes, I am sorry.
Sin,
yes,
whatever sin.
So the law will take its course.
So there are people that don't care whether I forgive them or not. What they are after is that you forget about the judgment you want to pass. You want to pass on them against that crime. If they know that even after seeking for repentance, you will still make them to go through the judgment. What will your repentance do to them? Who are you, by the way?
What do you make?
Let's face reality.
What do you? No, Papa, forget about reality. Okay, talking about the same reality you're talking about, Mr. Ibrahim. How are you going to cope as a citizen when you are seeing somebody who murdered allegedly your sister or your brother walking on the street in the name of repentance?
If a madman shoot a person,
yes.
So he must be faced to face the law.
He has been confirmed medically mad.
So 13-year-old is as good as somebody that does not have the right framework of brain to think right or wrong, to take decisions. It's all about taking decisions. Your ability to take decisions, your brain functions and guides you in taking decisions. A 13-year-old is not fully developed to the extent that he can be able to distinguish between right and wrong. Unlike the commanders, those ones display them, bring them back to court, tell them the offenses they committed, check the rules and the laws. What does the law say? What does the law say about a commander of maybe Boko Haram or a commander of banditry organization? What does the law say will be your judgment? You might have killed 70 people or 10 people or 5 people. What does the law say about you? If you are to go and be executed, fine and good. But a 13-year-old whose mother was killed in front of him, his sister was raped in front of him, he was forced to take drug to destroy his brain. Then he was taken to the bush and told that those people we killed, that you see your sister and your mother, they are your enemies. Take this gun, let us shoot you. You are seeking, we are going to give you freedom. And then you say that the government should treat them equally. Haba.
Okay.
You have a heart.
Well, I believe you do. I don't. You don't know my heart anyway.
So my advice to the government
I would like.
My advice to Binta and her colleagues as they face this judgment towards all these 500 insurgents and terrorists, they should please categorize them and then meet judgment to them based on the category they fall into. There are the high-ranking commanders. For those ones, let them face prosecution and full trial. Do you understand?
Okay. The law should take its full course.
Yes. And then for low-level fighters and those who have been forced to join the crime, they should be rehabilitated and reintegrated back to the society. What you did not understand is that the rehabilitation is a process. I think part of the process is being exposed.
But after rehabilitation, sorry to cut you, what happens to stigma?
It's all part of the
no stigma for the people. Yes. It's not going to be that. Mr. Ibrahim is not as cheap as you are saying it.
It's very easy. It's just that you don't want to listen. The rehabilitation in itself.
No, I'm talking of stigma.
It's part of the rehabilitation. See, they will be taken to the communities. The victims of their violence. They will also form part of the creating awareness. They will be repaid. They will be compensated for their loss. The victims, do you understand? And they will be told that these people, you see, they were forced to do this. When they were taking guns against the people, they were 13, they were 14, they did not know what they are doing. That's why we are training them, integrating them. Please forgive them. Do you understand? These are all part of the rehabilitation. Even teaching them skills to live by. Both the victims, because now the breadwinner might have been killed. Do you understand? The breadwinner might have been killed. Is now only remaining maybe 2 or 3 people in the family. They will be given skills and they will be given token amount to start their own business or trade. And so also are those who are being reintegrated. The stigma will take a long time to heal, but it will ultimately heal. And then if maybe we try to integrate like 150, and we are successful in reintegrating. We have been successful in only 50. It's not a bad job. At least we have ended up repairing 50 out of 100. But if by the grace of God we are able to fully train all of them and rehabilitate them back to the society fully, we are happy. God has helped us.
Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, 500 terrorists undergoing trial. 500, not counting the ones that are still in detention, not counting the ones that are still
already in the field.
In the field, the bushes. How did we get there? 500.
It's very difficult to state, honestly.
What do you think is responsible for this?
When all these things started from Borno with the emergence of the Boko Haram, and it was allowed to escalate. They were thinking it's something that can go with time. They were thinking it's politics. They were thinking it's religion. Gradually, the government did not pay full attention to the matter until it's where we are. Where we are today. It became a Hydra-hated monster. As a result of that, Boko Haram started seeing other splinter group coming into being, the ISIS, then now to banditry and everything. That's how we got there. Because if we had taken care of that Boko Haram at the initial stage that it had started, we wouldn't have been here today. It's our negligence. The negligence of the part of the government is not taking things seriously. And this is still the attitude of Nigerian governments. This is not peculiar to the current administration. It has always been the nature of our government. The security agencies will identify something. The people would, even the community people will identify a problem, and they will try to notify the security agencies. Sometimes the security agencies will even do their part, inform the government that this is what we have observed. This is a report coming from communities. But then the government will be very lackadaisical and taking action until when it becomes a serious issue. Do you understand? So Boko Haram started as just simply as the way during Ramadan, Muslim will shake, a scholar will down, sit down and start reading the Quran and then explaining the Quran and the Hadith to you. That's how it has started, though. They started indoctrinating people, telling them that even Boko, people that went to Western school, do not have heart, they don't have respect. In fact, it's not even good to go to school. That's the meaning of Boko. Boko means Western education. Haram means it's forbidden. That's how it started, though. So when all
and you know the contradiction about that.
Yes.
Now you are talking about that Western education is forbidden, but the guns you are carrying is a product of Western education.
We are not into going to. We are not.
I'm trying to. Yes. That was one of my.
It's a product of Western education.
That was the disconnect in the belief for me. But sometimes I try to query that. Why would somebody be saying that? But meanwhile, the guns you are wearing, the clothes you are wearing, these are products of Western education.
But you know, it was a sponsored group. Even when it began, it was a sponsored group, and people knew it. Hillary Clinton clearly stated it on the floor of the Senate. I sent you the video. Apart from her, other American senators have said it. Do you understand? They observed it. The West always create groups with a view to protecting their interests. It's not always a religious group, but also religious groups are parts of it. It always had an international backing. So at that time that it started early, the government would have exerted greater effort in trying to make sure that this group does not live to grow. But they did not. I remember Obasanjo even went to Maiduguri and met with the clergy, even into his house. If the president can leave the comfort of his Aso Rock villa and go to Maiduguri, to a very small community, and go into his room, this will have given him the chance to finish all this organization at that time before it became a monster. They did not. So they allowed it to grow, continue to grow until the original leader was killed. He was even killed prejudicially before they even interviewed him to find out who has been sponsoring you, who are the powers behind you. For you to be able to sit down and openly talk like this. It's a very small boy. At that time, he was in his 30s, I think. He wasn't even up to 40. He was in his late 30s.
Okay, now you see, when you mention things like this, yes. And I want to believe that even though you try to establish the fact that there are external forces behind, the creation of these monsters, these terrorist groups in Nigeria, what happens don't you think as a people we have the right to reject it? If somebody brings something I don't like, and will I accept it hook, line, and sinker?
That is why I gave you the instance of when the former president went to visit him. Obasanjo happened to be one of the most strongest, highly respected presidents in Nigeria. Up to today, he carries a lot of weight. Obasanjo is the only living president today that can decide to call all other Nigerian presidents to come to my house, and they will come. He still wields, you call the word will, but he still wields enormous amount of influence on everything Nigeria. I didn't say everything Nigerian. I say everything Nigeria. Obasanjo has influence over it. So at that time, even when he was in power, he went to Maiduguri.
Being a two-time president.
Yes.
Both as a military?
Both as a military and as a civilian for 8 years. And he was one president that is globally respected. That's why I still have respect for Obasanjo. He was the first person to give power voluntarily as a civilian administration, hand over from military to civilian. It's not easy. He did that. You understand? Others couldn't do it. He did that. So, like the previous Nigerian head of state, they did not hand over power successfully to military administration. Apart from Buhari, apart from Obasanjo, the next one is Atiku Abubakar. What is his name? Abdusalami Abubakar.
Yes.
So you see, we allowed Boko Haram to grow beyond major to become a Mensa, and that is how we found ourselves here. Your question was, how did we find ourselves here? That's why I gave you that small history according to my little understanding.
Okay.
So, and then this lackadaisical attitude is what continued to be having dangerous effect on all of us, to the extent that 300 or 500 of our youth are being tried today.
Okay. Mr. Ibrahim, before now, we've not seen any serious trials on terrorists like this. Have we seen anyone? Before now?
Before now? I can't remember any high-power trial that took place against any terrorist.
Yes, because before now, what we've been seeing is attack. And that brings me to the last question I want to ask, and I want us to talk about.
Yes.
Charging 500 suspects to, to court now. Is government being proactive or reactive? Is government reacting to the fact that in recent times,
definitely not
a lot of killings have been going on, and probably they want to use this to serve as a deterrent to others who might want to continue? Because before now, like I said, we've not had, I don't think we've seen high-powered trial like this, this large number of people. So is government being proactive or government is being reactive?
I won't call this proactive. It would have been proactive if they had been tried as they were being arrested. Because all those 500 were not arrested at the same time. They were arrested piecemeal. 10 will be arrested and dumped in prison. 20 will be arrested and dumped in prison. It would have been proactive if, as they were being arrested, they were also being tried and then prosecuted. But now you allow them to languish in prison. Even those ones that I said they will have been abducted and forced into Islam, they might have learned new tricks now while they were in prison. That shouldn't have been the case. You understand? Okay. I think the government is now acting reactively. It's reacting to the situation now. Probably because now the prisons are getting congested. They want to create more space. Probably that might have been what informed the decision now to try them, all of them. Because you know that one of the greatest problems we are facing in this country is prison congestion. Okay,
so you are saying the government is trying to decongest the prisons, and that is why...
I didn't say. I say it might have been reason.
One of the reasons.
One of the reasons that they decided now to react to the situation rather than being proactive. Do you understand?
The other reason is because of the continuous killings that has been going on serially like that.
Exactly. Okay. But in trying these people, I think they are not going to be tried individually. I think they will be tried
trenches
based on groups
and level of involvement.
I think that's how they will be tried. There are people that have definitely killed many people, burnt many villages, displaced many people, caused trauma to many people. Those will be categorized, maybe 100 of them or 70 of them in that side. You understand?
And those are my probably.
Then there are those
probably face capital judgment.
Yes, exactly. For those ones, even though I'm not a lawyer, I think it may be execution. Then there may be people who have never taken arms, despite the fact that they are also members of the insurgent groups or banditry groups, but they have never carried weapons. These are the ones that will say, okay, we are going to burn the villages. Why would do this? You don't even have to carry a gun. You will go and start collecting bags of rice, or you see all those food stuff and everything. This group is also a different one. So those ones will be tried and then be serve sentences in prison. And then there is the latter group that I told you that I'm more concerned about, those who have been forced to be part of this insurgency or banditry, those who have been brainwashed, those who have been forced to take drugs, even though their mental capacity, the brain has not fully developed, they now made the brain worse by forcing drugs into their heads, and then being indoctrinated, being taught lies, being taught how to kill.
Okay, now
so those ones should be rehabilitated and reintegrated back to the society without even passing through any.
So you are saying government is reactive, more of reactive than proactive.
Definitely.
Okay, fine. What do you, so in other words, do you expect more of these kind of trials?
Yes, I
expect more of this trial, because if government is reactive, and this reactiveness is it not going to be of great use to us, serving as a deterrent to others who might be okay, still practicing this deadly act? Don't you think this whatever reactiveness?
If the situation is serious, we do not. Well, if the situation, any situation,
yes,
any violent situation should not be faced. So we are not expected to simply react to such situation. We should react, but proactively. As soon as it's happened, let's take action. We cannot afford to allow it to linger.
We should not allow it to linger for too long, and then
we don't even know that are these 500 that are going to be tried today or yesterday or today, are they all insurgent in detention, or this just part of the whole? I think I read 2 papers. I didn't come across any statement to the effect that no, these are all of them, or there are still some left in detention. But going forward, next time any bandits or insurgents are arrested, let not go and put them in prison. Let straight away take them to court for trial and punishment.
So you are in support that this court processes should continue.
It should continue
and proactively. We should not allow them to stay for too long.
Exactly.
Gather them as much as 500.
Exactly.
Because I'm beginning to wonder, where do we keep these 500? How were they even kept and then taking them to court? Where
as you know, before now, even such court cases regarding insurgents are not being done in Abuja here. They used to do them somewhere near that Kainji dams. What do you call that place? In Kainji. I don't know why for the first time they are bringing them back to Abuja.
Now there's this section of the matter. Now that is the heavy presence of security men. Why heavy presence of security? Because we have had cases.
Why not?
I'm coming. We have had cases.
We are bringing terrorists to town. Why would I? Well, that's very good.
But they are not armed. They've been disarmed.
They have friends. They may attempt to free them. Exactly. It happens in countries. They have friends.
Like the case of the Kuje prison break.
These terrorists.
Where there was some point to
yes, exactly. That's an example. They are becoming bolder now. They are not scared of anything. They know that our security system is very porous and weak. They know that if they can make proper arrangement, they can strike and at least displace these people. Some of them will run away. And what do you think if there's no security? At least if 20 of these 500 are able to escape into the community.
That would be disastrous.
And they have a very funny way of reintegrating, bringing back themselves together.
So you think the presence of those heavy security
is quite in order? It's the best steps to take. It's the best step to take.
Okay.
In terrorists. Terrorists.
But they are human beings. Considering the fact that they've spent a number of years in the prison before they were taken for trials.
It's always the human that surprises you. All the monsters in this world have always been people, are human beings. All people that destroyed this world are still the human beings. The people that created the atomic bomb are still human beings. The people that sent the atomic bomb to go and fall in Nagasaki and Hiroshima are still human beings.
And they are all terrorists.
They are all, for me, yes.
Like minds.
Like minds.
Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, but before we wrap up for today, I also want us to look briefly. Now we've been talking about terrorists, taking them to court, and what have you. Now, some might argue that there should have been a special court for issues like this, considering the fact that this case is a special case. Some might argue that this might be taking them to the normal conventional court may not be the best way, they should take them to some form of special court.
No, I thought about that when I
Because the issue there, it has to be special. That taking them to a normal conventional court, the issue of human rights and the rest of them might come out. Some civil concerns might be raised. So what do you think?
Honestly, the first time I saw this headline, I said, court to try terrorists. If we have court that tries that has to do with labor, if you have courts that have to do with rent issues, why can't we have courts that have to strictly do with terrorism and banditry? Honestly, I thought about that. It would have been easier. And if we had such a court, those actions would have been proactive rather than
special courts.
Exactly, special court, purposely put in place for these purposes. Do you understand? That would have been better.
And that would have probably helped us. We may not be having large numbers like this.
Yes.
Anytime you just arrest one of these terrorists, the courts are already there waiting for them for trial.
We have labor court. What do you call it? We have
industrial court.
Industrial court. Do you understand? We have laws that has to do with rent and other things. Special court purposely for that purpose. So why can't we have a court for serious things like terrorism that is eating us deep now? I think that would have been better. And then it is your responsibility as a journalist, we as journalists, to begin to talk, to advocate towards that, honestly speaking. That would have made things easier. That would have made it easier for cases to be treated proactively without having to wait until we gather up to 500 of them to pass a collective judgment.
And only God knows how many we have left now.
Yes.
Because I don't think 500 of them are the total number of terrorists.
That's right. That's what I said. We are not even sure.
Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, okay. Now you have made your point, and I think I begin somehow, to an extent, for the first time, I want to agree with you on this.
Always end up like this, even if we don't end up together.
No, I don't agree with you on Otto's side, but I agree with you that there should be a special court, established for issues like this, because the issue of terrorism is serious.
It's serious.
It's becoming global now.
It has become global. It has become global.
The network.
Do you know that today
there are some countries that don't have terrorists?
Today we have countries that are ruled by terrorists. Syria, the president of Syria today is an ISIS man. America placed him there. He was one that took on.
You mean Assad?
Not Assad, the current president of Syria now.
Okay.
Assad is gone now already.
Assad is gone, yeah.
They use that person to destabilize Syria. Then after they have finished the work, America now installed him as their puppet in Syria. He's not the president of Syria.
Well, I don't think we want to go into that. Let's face domestic issues, our own. What is troubling us?
No, you are the one
whatever happens in Syria should stay in Syria. We are in Nigeria. Exactly. Let's face our issues. All right, Mr. Ibrahim, thank you very much for today in the morning show. And I want to say that you have done well. And let the discussion
continue.
Let it continue. All right, that is where we're going to wrap it up today on the morning show on PMB, on Politics and Business Television. Do join us on our social media handles there and follow us and like while we continue tomorrow. My name is Kenneth Chidi, and that will be all for now. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow, and God bless you.